They thought the slap would break me. 30 guests watched as my mother's hand connected with my cheek, her voice echoing through the mansion. "Give Marcus the penthouse. He deserves it more." But as I tasted blood and felt the sting, something cold and calculating awakened inside me. They had no idea they'd just signed their own destruction. The champagne flutes trembled as her palms struck my face. Silence crashed over the birthday party like a tsunami. 30 of Marcus's friends froze mid-conversation, their eyes darting between me and my mother's furious expression. The golden birthday boy himself stood beside his towering cake, knife in hand, smirking like he'd already won some twisted lottery. "Catherine, give your brother the penthouse," my mother hissed, her manicured nails digging into my shoulder. "He's 25 now. He needs space to become the man he's meant to be. The man he's meant to be." I almost laughed. Marcus couldn't hold a job for more than 4 months, couldn't pay his own phone bill, couldn't even remember to shower without reminders. But I was the family ATM, wasn't I? The daughter who clawed her way through Harvard Business School while working 3 jobs. The one who built a real estate empire from nothing, who owned the very mansion they were celebrating in, who'd purchased their cars, paid their debts, funded their fantasies. I touched my burning cheek and smiled. Not the broken smile they expected, but something sharp and predatory. Something that made my mother take an involuntary step backward. "No," I said quietly, my voice carrying across the suddenly airless room. "I don't think I will." That's when everything changed. I left that night with purpose coursing through my veins. No tears, no dramatic exits, just calculated precision. Within 48 hours, I'd contacted my attorney, my financial advisor, and my real estate agent. Every loan I'd given them over the years, disguised as gifts but meticulously documented, suddenly became official debts with compounding interest. The penthouse sold to a tech billionaire for $3.2 million. Cash deal closed in a week. I had the locks changed on every property in my name before the ink dried. Their credit cards linked to my accounts were cancelled. The joint bank account my mother used for her shopping sprees, frozen then emptied. Marcus called from a friend's phone, his voice cracking. "Kat, what the hell is happening?" "My stuff is gone. The penthouse is empty." I replied with a single text. "Sold. Figure it out like the man you're supposed to be." My mother's fury was spectacular. She screamed about family loyalty, about blood being thicker than water. I reminded her that blood had nothing to do with the forged signature she'd used to take out a loan against my property. My lawyers were very interested in that particular detail. The eviction notice arrived on a Tuesday. 30 days to vacate the mansion they'd called home for 6 years. The same mansion I'd purchased with my first real estate commission, dreaming of family dinners and holiday mornings. Instead, I'd gotten years of being treated like a walking wallet with legs. I watched from my car as they loaded boxes. My mother looked smaller somehow, her designer clothes wrinkled, her perfect composure finally cracking. Marcus avoided my eyes. His golden boy confidence shattered like expensive crystal. But let them feel what I'd felt every day, worthless, used, invisible. But I wasn't done. The final envelope contained lease agreements for a modest 2-bedroom apartment across town. Paid up for 6 months, enough time for them to figure out what real independence looked like. Not cruelty, mercy they didn't deserve. "Why?" my mother whispered as I handed her the keys. For the first time in my life, her voice held genuine confusion instead of commanding authority. I looked at her, really looked, and saw a stranger. "Because that slap wasn't punishment," I said softly. "It was liberation. You freed me from the delusion that your love was worth buying. Today I live in a converted loft downtown. Exposed brick, floor-to-ceiling windows, space that's entirely mine. I cook for myself, answer to no one, sleep without guilt gnawing at my chest. The silence is golden, the peace priceless. My phone still rings sometimes. Relatives wanting to mediate, friends calling me heartless, Marcus sending desperate messages about family forgiveness. But I've learned something powerful. Sometimes the greatest act of love is refusing to enable someone's destruction. That birthday slap changed everything. It wasn't the end of my family. It was the beginning of my life. And in the mirror each morning I see someone I finally recognize. A woman who chose herself, a survivor who stopped paying for love that was never really for sale. They wanted everything I had. So I gave them exactly what they deserved, nothing, and the chance to finally earn something themselves. The golden child's empire fell in 7 days. Mine rose from its ashes.